I was not going to go down for it. Stephen Oyedu Ishen, Conconsan, or this Sheba Bay TV. Yeah, Ghana TV, a home and a
notice of the levels of ostentation on display and regret deeply, rather deeply, that the MPP do not exhibit any modicum of the ability to appreciate the need to be sensitive to the people of Ghana in these times of great suffering and pain. Fellow countrymen, ladies and gentlemen, the new Patriotic Party remains the luckiest political organization in Ghana, having to enjoy undeserving level of goodwill from the people, yet have only offered poor leadership, incompetent leadership, leading to the current economic meltdown and hardship for all Ghanaians. The NPP government have been privileged to benefit from a total of about 500 billion Ghana cedi in revenues and about 400 billion cedis in borrowed inflows, compared to some meager 200 billion that accrued under their predecessor, the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Incidentally, Ukraine-Russia war and COVID-19 has become the convenient whipping board.
Tolerance.
Ladies and gentlemen, in wrapping up, finally, when we were coming, I decided to buy a ball of kenke. This ball of kenke sells for 5 cedis. The leaves on the kenke alone will be 3 cedi. More expensive than the kenke itself. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I bought the kenke with my Ghana card.
Keti Jemfu ano John Board conference no amose enipa aspora forum yemra no yemra conference no yebeye mu ni anase yebeye mo se John Board ni Keti conference no amafrese Europe yemra no yeba beye mu ni anase yebeye mo se ayeba afaso be ne benya free so die afaso na diaspora yeba benya free so da ba mu na sumie so executive for mon nasumie so chairman organizer secretary youth organizer and treasurer da ba mon nasumie so muda mon nasumie so munni munyansa diaspora yemra conference ayebe ye nyansa ayebe yese ana yebe ye mumunni ana yebe ye momose ayema press conference some force amuka se dipa be dia kirebim Ujon Bob na no abanga we kokumase abanga be kumaso oyisu V8 and 9 and ode na mabanga no se no ma honu guase akama no guase ene epewoi ene echenji abon de beto echenji na mo ye no se ye epewoi ye pie ni ye pie se nyame na tua moka no ye mra conference kana baba conference ye fa manya nka ni nwisia wo Ghana ni thousand take 20 public trial bi mu no ye fam na ye ma ana ye busafo ni ye menye mu nya na se ye menye mu se kwase some friend master de mwaso da jombo ni Keti Jemfu a mo ka se diaspora for ma no kwase some ni mwaso ba kwa ni friend master ye benye mu nya na se ye benye mu se
I was not going to go down for it. Stephen Oyedu Ishen, Conconsan, or this Sheba Bay TV. Yeah, Ghana TV.
When we say the economy is suffocating Ghanaians, we sound like a broken record. But can we be blamed? People can't afford to be sick anymore because things are so bad. The prices of food, fuel, medicine, basic goods, and some services have risen, as you all know. Even the cost of using public washrooms has increased. Oh yes, we checked. It has risen by 20%, or 20 pesos rather. So President Akufo-Addo announced his government's decision to return to IMF on July 1, Republic Day. This is after many in his government boasted and thumped their chest, insisting they could manage the economy better without the IMF.
Stephen Oyedu Eshen, Ponkonsa or this Sheba Bema TV. Yeah, Ghana TV.
When we say the economy is suffocating Ghanaians, we sound like a broken record. But can we be blamed? People can't afford to be sick anymore because things are so bad. The prices of food, fuel, medicine, basic goods, and some services have risen, as you all know. Even the cost of using public washrooms has increased. Oh yes, we checked. It has risen by 20%, or 20 pesos rather. So President Akufo-Addo announced his government's decision to return to IMF on July 1, Republic Day. This is after many in his government boasted and thumped their chest, insisting they could manage the economy better without the IMF.
That's why we got into the IMF. You were spending too much relative to revenues, which is true. You were borrowing too much, which is true. Your external payments position has deteriorated, which is true. And so you ended up, your growth is reducing, which is true. So you ended up at the IMF. And the IMF would impose certain conditions, which is true. The supporters of this government and this government itself are very reluctant to admit the truth even when it hits them in the face.
But they had to eat back their words. They had to run back to the very IMF they claimed they didn't need. And this should be a lesson to all politicians in this country, NDC inclusive, that propaganda is not cool anymore. You know why? People are becoming more discerning and seeing through politicians' lies. And most definitely, your lies will come back and bite you, as we are seeing right now. So back to the IMF. Clearly, many Ghanaians were disappointed with the government because we believed they could weather whatever financial storms we were confronted with. But everything seems broken now, and Ghanaians are angry, and justifiably so. Well-meaning Ghanaians hope that Dr. Bawumia, who some have described as the economic messiah, would say something and put out the fires that had sparked in us. Instead, he did the opposite.
Ask a carpenter to roof your house. And he roofs this house, and suddenly the roof collapses. Without any rainfall or wind, suddenly you have a collapsing of the roof. Will you not blame the carpenter who did the roofing? Will you not blame the carpenter? But if the carpenter roofs your house, and the roof collapses because there's a tornado and a storm which has blown away roofs and windows and walls of many houses, will you blame the carpenter? Will you blame the carpenter?
So, question, Dr. Bawumia, how come the tornado did not destroy the roofs of Togo and Ivory Coast? Was the tornado aimed directly at Ghana? I mean, so who should we blame, the storm or the carpenter? I'm sure you yourself won't believe in this narrative that you are trying to foist on us.
You have to ask, how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen?
Why? Why are we still engaging in propaganda when people are hungry and angry? Why? I mean, who cares about which political party's engagement with the IMF is more superior? I believe many Ghanaians will agree with me when I say that the lowest point of your IMF speech was blaming the previous government for the country's economic woes. But this is the very reason Ghanaians voted for the NPP in 2016, to clean the mess you say your opponents had created. So why are you blaming the NDC for your shortcomings or your government's gross incompetence? Dr. Bawumia, you have been in charge of the economic management team for 6 years. 6. Or is it the case that you're not really in charge? Are you being undermined? Well, I guess we'll never know. Your speech was a disappointment for many who were eagerly anticipating what you had to say. In fact, some actually believed you were going to apologize to Ghanaians. I think it's safe to say that that apology won't happen anytime soon, given the kind of politics we practice in these parts. The politics where people will tell you the hard truth, or rather not tell you the hard truth to your face and cheer you on even though you are on the wrong path.
Give me 1,000 interchanges and a Ghana card. I'll choose the Ghana card because it has more impact on the world.
Clearly, Mr. Vice President, you are not in touch with the realities on the ground. Dr. Bawumia, what the people were looking forward to was an admission that your government made mistakes and an assurance of how you intend to get us out of this economic quagmire. You may not have apologized, but it's not too late. Perhaps you were paralyzed by the fear that your opponents will mock you. But remember, Ghanaians may forgive you. A genuine apology softens the heart. I mean, I'm a woman, and I know, so it's not too late.